Now, let's start our bulletin from the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Manila. Yes, he's there for the ASEAN visit. And on the third day, he met the Japanese Premier Abe. Now, our correspondent Ramesh Ramachandran is in Manila covering the visit, covering each and every bilateral. And he joins me from Manila. Ramesh, tell me, the bilaterals are over between Indian Prime Minister and Japanese Premier. What are you learning? What issues were discussed? Was China on the menu?
As you mentioned, Kartikeya, today is the third and concluding day of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the Philippines for the 31st ASEAN Summit and the 12th East Asia Summit. And like yesterday, even this morning, he began his engagement with bilaterals. The first one with Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull, then with the leader of Vietnam, and now with the Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe. Remember, India, Japan, Australia and the US all have come together in what is known as a quadrilateral, which met for the first time in 10 years, 2 days ago, here on the margins of the ASEAN Summit. Therefore, to that extent, the separate bilaterals which Prime Minister Modi has had with Shinzo Abe, Malcolm Turnbull and President Trump yesterday of the US, only go to show that India is now willing and able to play a more high-profile role in the Indo-Pacific region and attempting to become a net provider of security in the Indo-Pacific region, especially in light of the conflicts, the maritime disputes that happen in the South China Sea between China on the one hand and some ASEAN countries on the other hand, namely the Philippines, Vietnam and other countries. So at the moment, as things stand, India is looking to play a more visible role in the Indo-Pacific region in terms of the new security architecture obtaining in this part of the world. That said, Prime Minister Modi, for his part, has said that India's relations with Japan and Australia and the US transcend the region. It's a global strategic partnership that India has with each of these three countries, and therefore it remains to be seen how this relationship is taken from here onwards. Prime Minister Modi and Abe share a very cordial, very close personal rapport. Remember, Prime Minister Abe was the first one who proposed this quadrilateral way back in 2007. And therefore, since then, they've managed to establish a personal rapport and they've met on the margins of many a summit in the last couple of years, especially now that Prime Minister Abe has been re-elected as Prime Minister with a majority mandate. So India-Japan relations should only look up from here onwards.
Well, back home, if you have not looked at the papers, Ramesh, you'll be very surprised to know that the leading headline has been when Trump talks about the greatest militaries. Now, that has been headline. That news which emanated from Manila has been headlined all across. In what context should we see this particular development in which this statement came from Trump?
Well, that's been the recurrent theme and message on the part of the U.S. The U.S. is essentially prodding India, encouraging India to play a more conspicuous role in the Asia-Pacific or the Indo-Pacific region. And as President Trump has said, even on the margins of the APEC summit, that he has only good words to say about India and Prime Minister Modi, and that for India to be able to play that role which the U.S. is seeking, India needs to become a powerful military force in the region to change the balance of power obtaining in this part of the world in favor of the U.S. and its allies and its other partners such as India. So defense cooperation, security ties, they all factor into the India-US bilateral ties, which is known as a strategic global partnership. And to that extent, the Americans are playing a key, crucial role in helping India in transfer of technology, in co-production, co-development of the latest weapons technology. So all in all, India-US defense ties are looking up. And the only way forward is to go up further than what they've done already before.
And last question before I let go of you. When are the bilaterals going to end? And what are the other meetings which we have to look forward to from now on?
After the bilateral with Prime Minister Abe concludes, Prime Minister Modi will have a pull-aside meeting with the Sultan of Brunei, which is another one of the 10 members in the ASEAN, followed by a bilateral meeting with the new Prime Minister of New Zealand. And as the day progresses, he will participate in the 12th East Asia Summit, followed by a meeting of the RCEP, also known as the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. This is an ASEAN-wide free trade area negotiation. And the last engagement of Prime Minister Modi here in Manila will be the India-ASEAN Summit, and after which Prime Minister will return home.
Thank you, Ramesh, for this update, but we'll be coming back to you again and again on this. This is a story which is being covered by WION intensively, in depth, and our correspondent Ramesh Ramachandran happens to be in Manila, giving us update on a minute-to-minute basis.